Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I wanted to give you a market update and to show you what I'm seeing in the market. And what I'm seeing is that there's something seriously wrong, and I'm having trouble figuring out what it fundamentally is. But what I can tell you is that this market is pricing in some bad things that are in the process of happening. And I hope by putting out this video we can all put our heads together and figure out what's going on. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to drill down into the different sectors of the S&P 500 to see where the real weakness is. This is a chart here of the S&P Industrial. So let's first look at the S&P 500. So S&P 500 is closing at a new low hasn't closed this low since last March or April. You can see that there's good support at 260. I'm looking at SPY, which is the ETF. So there's good support at 260 on the ETF, or 2600, which is the index level. You can see that we tested this level back in late October. We traded a little bit below and were able to rally back up. And then about 5 days ago, we traded down and we were able to close back up. So I'm really going to be watching this 260 level on the S&P. If we get a daily close below it, as we almost did today, it's extremely bearish. And if that happens, you would expect maybe air pockets to open up in the market and we could trade down fairly quickly to 230, 220 level. So that's what's happening with the S&P 500, with the big index as a whole. Now, the story of this year has really been the sell-off in FANG and the tech stocks and crypto. You can see here a chart of all the technology stocks, the big large cap tech stocks there in the S&P 500. But what I want to draw your attention to today is where the real weakness has been in the last few days in the S&P 500. So I'm first going to look at XLI, which is a S&P 500 sector fund that looks at all the industrial stocks, XLI. So you can see this is hitting new lows. This is taking out previous closing lows. So these are all the big industrial companies that basically make stuff. The other sector that's extremely weak is energy, which is XLE is the ticker. You can see this chart looks just really terrible. And then finally, the last sector that's seen serious weakness is the financials, XLF. So this would include the banks and other financial companies. Goldman Sachs just keeps going lower and lower every day. So what this tells me, this weakness in the industrials, weakness in energy stocks, weakness in the financials, is that there's something broken in the old economy or in the real economy. Obviously, tech has been selling off as well, but there's something fundamentally happening here, and I can't quite put my finger on it, whether this is a result of the trade war with China, all the murmurs of unrest in Europe and Brexit, or if it has to do with the flattening of the yield curve. Obviously that would affect financials. But the market is pricing in something here that is not totally visible. It's not in the news yet, but there's something seriously bad about to happen, or some sort of seriously bad economic news about to come out, or maybe some sort of fundamental political news. And so we'll definitely be keeping an eye on the market when it opens up on Monday. But this has me quite worried, especially this weakness in the old economy stocks. Now, on the bright side of things, I'll show you where you can hide out in this market. I'll show you some stocks that have been holding up well. And we've talked about some of them before. McDonald's, still looking pretty good. Starbucks, holding well. These are obviously low cost options. They're cheap ways of treating yourself in a bad economy. Then some of the enterprise stocks, like Workday, is holding quite well. WDAY, Okta has really been unaffected by this recent leg down. And finally, AYX is another one to take a look at. But the overall prognosis for the markets is quite bearish. You can see the Dow here hitting new lows. NASDAQ hasn't yet tested the new lows. But this weakness that I'm seeing in the industrials, energy, and financials has me worried. If you have any ideas what may be going on, feel free to leave a comment below, and let me know what you're seeing. We'll put our heads together and figure this out. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click like. That would really help me out. I'm trying to get this out to as many people as possible so we can protect ourselves here before something extremely bad happens. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.